This week, I've got Last Christmas, which is a bit of a weird one for me to see. And the long and short of it is not at all what I expected. And unfortunately, as a byproduct of that, I cannot recommend it. I don't think anyone's going to end up recommending it. But before I launch into a very long, complicated explanation of why, I just would warn you. So why should you not waste your time if you are wanting to know more? Well, for me personally, I should note that I hate Christmas movies, generally speaking. Now, there are a couple notable exceptions to this. I love the film Love Actually because I'm going to go ahead and maintain that it is not a Christmas movie. It's just a really sweet film that happens to take place around Christmas. Then, of course, there is Die Hard, the greatest Christmas film of all time. And finally, there are those terrible, cheesy, dime a dozen, shoddily, quickly made Christmas films that come out en masse around this time every year on your Netflixes and your Hallmarks and your Lifetimes. I cannot look away from those. They are like a train wreck, and I just can't stop watching them. I find them so fascinating, and they're always some like basic, almost always white, like heteronormative, cisgender couple who it always stars a woman who lives in a big city and she works in like advertising or publishing, and then she somehow ends up moving to a small town or a country she's not familiar with and giving up her dreams essentially to be with some, guy who lives there for some reason. Sometimes that guy's a snowman. Yes, there's literally a plot where a woman falls in love with a snowman for a bit. I kid you not, look it up. Anyway, so those are the types of Christmas movies I'm okay with. I get very annoyed when holiday stuff starts super early. I should note I don't celebrate Christmas, so this kind of adds to my dislike for when you get a Christmas movie in November before we've even had Thanksgiving, and in fact in the first week of November. So that all being said, I was willing to give this film a chance for a couple reasons. One, like I said, Love Actually, Emma Thompson wrote and is in this. And Emma Thompson, I think in addition to being a great actress, I think people need to remember she is also an amazing writer. She won an Oscar for adapted screenplay. So I was like, all right, well, if she wrote this, I feel I should give it a chance. Also, the cast got me excited because it's Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones, Henry Golding from Crazy Rich Asians, and Michelle Yeoh, also from Crazy Rich Asians, but also, Crouching Tiger, Star Trek Discovery, all sorts of great things. So I was like, yes, I'm sold on this cast. The short trailers looked cute. For the love of God, don't watch the long trailers because apparently it gives a ton of stuff away that I did not realize had been given away. And yeah, so I was like, great cast. The director is Paul Feig, who directed Bridesmaids, which I think is one of the funniest films of the last 10 years. And it's great that it's also a female-led film. He also directed Spy, and again, female-led film. Directed Ghostbusters, the 2016 reboot, which happened to star all women. Simple Favor. So I like Paul Feig, and so I was like, okay, cool. This is like a good combination of factors, right? This should be good. And yet, what the hell did I watch? I think in my mind, I had built it up to ideally be some sort of Love Actually-esque film, which is an almost impossible standard to be compared to. So I may have set it up for failure in that sense. It is very hard for me to talk about this film without giving away the plot, and I don't want to give away the plot because it's supposed to be whatever it is. And so I will just say that in spite of the fact that Emma Thompson is so talented and amazing, she could not make a George Michael song. And yes, sorry, I should mention, this is based on the George Michael song, or inspired by the George Michael song. She could not stretch this into a feature-length film, is what it comes down to. I don't think anybody could stretch this into a feature-length film, but what I will say is save your time, save your money, and which is such a shame because I do really like the people involved in this film, and I hate when that happens, but I just was so disappointed by it, and I think independent of the Love Actually kind of build up in my mind, I would have been disappointed by this film. And I think at the end of the day, even with my sort of subjective bias of not being a fan of Christmas movies because of, various cultural reasons, the fact that I wanted to see this film and I wanted it to succeed would speak to the quality of the talent involved. Unfortunately, it does not deliver, and it's a shame. And even if you love Christmas movies and Christmas or rom-coms or whatever, I think you're going to be disappointed by this film. So I'm going to have to say you should probably skip it. Just watch Love Actually. Just watch another romantic comedy. Just watch whatever people normally watch around Christmas. I can't remember the name of that movie. I was about to say Nightmare on Elm Street, but I think it's Miracle on 34th Street. Watch both. Whatever. Watch whatever you need to watch. It's a Wonderful Life. That's the one I'm thinking of. Anyway, just watch something not this weekend. Save your time, save your money. I'm only going to give this 2.5 out of 5. And the only reason I'm going to give it not like a 1 or a 2 or whatever is just because the actors in it are so charming that even with such a bizarre plot structure and whatever is going on, they still have moments that they shine. And Emilia Clarke and Henry Golding are absolutely charming. Michelle Yeoh is sassy and fun in parts. Like, there's some interesting cameos, but definitely not worth seeing in a theater. So 2.5 out of 5.